Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 91 days away from its official release by Disney, Lucasfilm, J.J. Abrams, and even creator George Lucas, that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be a revelation film that comes along with many different twists and turns that's going to truly change our perception of the past 8 Star Wars movies. Now, whether or not that's going to be a good or a bad thing all depends on how J.J. Abrams is going to utilize these big twists and reveals in Episode 9 and exactly how it's going to resonate with fans once the film finally drops come this December of 2019. Now, on top of all of this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intense for Episode 9. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of a sequence where it's explained that both Rey and Kylo Ren are said to be standing next to each other, where they are said to be standing in a strange environment, where the world around them is beginning to shapeshift. It's explained that Luke's Force Ghost can be seen in the distance, where it's actually said that they eventually are brought into the netherworld of the Force. It's explained that eventually Rey and Kylo Ren are beginning to hear the Force Ghost voices of both Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, where eventually they witness their apparitions in the distance, standing next to Luke Skywalker, where they are said to appear far older and different in design. It's explained that one of the sequences involves a moment in which where both Anakin and Kenobi are said to offer knowledge about the origins of the galaxy and that the light side of the Force was created by the Grand Will. The Grand Will was said to be the top of the group of the godlike beings who call themselves the Wills, and that the Grand Will was the one responsible for actually utilizing the Force in a way where the Force users can use it in ways not intended for evil or pain, and that Anakin and Kenobi are said to deliver a passage of the Grand Will from the Journal of the Wills to them before they begin to vanish and exit the netherworld, where both Kylo Ren and Rey are said to be just near Palpatine's throne room before their battle against him. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, in case you guys did not know, we got a brief glimpse at the Journal of the Wills in The Last Jedi. It was one of those books that we did in fact see inside of the Tree Library that Rey in fact saves and now owns on board of the Millennium Falcon. So that's another thing to keep note of, is that those books are actually going to play a role in The Rise of Skywalker to a certain extent, and one of them is of course the Journal of the Wills. Now, the Force Ghosts of both Obi-Wan and Kenobi are actually said, or should I say Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin are actually said to be far older in design. And that's very interesting because we've been hearing about Disney and Lucasfilm trying to make the Force Ghosts appear older in design in order to really make it feel a little bit more different and something new by JJ that'll make it feel original. Now, with that being said, the Grand Will. Let's go over the Grand Will. Now, what's exciting about this character is that it's said to be the top of the godlike beings that call themselves the Wills. Now, this Grand Will is said to be the one responsible for creating the light side of the Force itself, giving Force users the ability to use the Force in a way that's not actually intended for evil or pain. And what I love so much about this is that it's really tapping into new mediums of the franchise that's really actually giving us a better sense and idea of this franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen that's going to make it very well known. And that's what I love about this film, is that it really seems like it's borrowing elements from, of course, the Clone Wars, where you have like this different medium of Star Wars that was actually never explored in the movies. You know, in the Clone Wars, we got all these different things such as, you know, the father, the son, the daughter, everything around those lines. And even in Star Wars Rebels, we got crazy things like the worlds between worlds. You know, with each and every series, we got different mediums, and now they're doing the same exact thing in, of course, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker with the netherworld of the Force. So, on top of all this, I will say that Episode 9 really seems like it's shaping up to be a very promising film, a film that's going to be far better than both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi combined, and could very well mark itself down as the new Revenge of the Sith, if you will. And what I mean by that is, of course, the last film of this current trilogy being the best of the trilogy, very similar to Revenge of the Sith. I think it's pretty safe to say that Episode 3 is far better than Episode 1 and 2, at least to the majority. So, with that being said, Guys, let me know what you think about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.